everything you can imagine, from the equipment we use to the vehicles to the facilities and the water systems. And thanks to Pat and to Marnie Swanson, we were able to answer some questions that we were not sure how to answer for the Village of Riverwoods. And the end result is we have been approved to go before the commission in Chicago in August. We will be one of two departments in Illinois. Lake Forest is the other one who was approved. Currently, Highland Park, Glencoe, Wilmette, Naperville, and Countryside Fire Protection District are accredited. And worldwide, there are only 135 agencies who have achieved this.
That's tremendous. That's great.
The last thing I'd report on is Deputy Chief Eric Norland, after 31 and a half years, is calling it quits. He's retiring. As a result of that retirement, Lieutenant Tom Kruger, who I told you about, who made the Valiant Rescue and was honored down in Springfield, is going to be promoted to Battalion Chief, and I will be promoted to Deputy Chief.
Wow.
Are you still going to come here?
I still will be coming here.
And his appearance fee goes up.
Yeah, it's double.
That's all. Thank you very much. I have nothing to say. Okay. Okay, we'll get into the good stuff. I have a motion for second reading and adoption. I think we never had a motion for this.
So moved.
Of an ordinance amending the village code to prescribe regulations concerning fences. We have a motion?
Second.
Okay. Discussion, Mr. Hubbard?
Well, I provided the red line and a memo trying to explain what my reasons were, what I was trying to thread the needle between 2 points of view on this. I think the main thing that I left unfinished is in the section on transitional permits, which of option A or B the board prefers. Option A would trigger the requirement to make the fences conform either when the property is sold or when there's a substantial rebuilding. Option B would not trigger the duty to conform just on the sale of the house. It would only happen if there was a substantial rebuilding. That's the difference between option A and B. So that seemed to be what the split was on the task force, and I didn't mean to do anything but reflect that split and let the board decide.
Other than that, most everything here is the recommendations of the task force. We have any discussion on
Yeah,
whether we want
Bruce?
option A or option B?
Well,
Or
you may need to, the ordinance as it submitted for the first reading was not this ordinance, so you may need somebody to move to make these amendments. Was the motion to adopt with these, as presented with these amendments? We need to clarify that, or we may need to.
No, we did second reading and adoption, so let's,
We can make modifications to the initial.
Yes.
Right.
Doesn't the person who moved first have to accept the amendment, though?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
Who was
clarifying.
the first, who was the
Bill
first person
Svatek.
to move? Initially?
I don't recall.
I don't recall.
I don't recall way back when
That
either.
was a year ago.
Or more.
So whatever it is,
So why don't we go for second reading and adoption as amended?
okay.
Would that do it?
Okay,
Your motion,
and I will modify the motion to that effect.
and I will second it to that effect.
Okay. Anybody have any problems with that before we go any farther? Okay.
I don't know, is that proper?
I don't think it's a problem, and if it is a problem, the board, if it reaches a consensus on the ordinance, we'll pass it again with the proper person moving at the time, so I wouldn't let it hold up discussion tonight.
Got it.
You want to make some comments on what you've done?
I don't know how, sometimes I start talking, the board says shut up, so it says.
I mean, everybody has had a chance to read this over the weekend.
Yeah, oh, yes.
And if they've got any comments, fine, otherwise we'll concentrate on option A or option B.
No, I have one comment, very frankly.
Go.
Whether we're looking at option A or we're looking at option B, we're talking about, according to this ordinance, somebody doing a modification to their home, which is equal to 50% of the value of the home. And I would be more comfortable if the ordinance said that it did something to increase the footprint rather than the value of the home. Because if somebody who has a very small house is doing a basement remodel and doing a kitchen remodel and butting out the wall a couple of inches or something to that effect, it could very well be half the value of the house. Or doing a second story without altering
We
anything.
discussed this before with the
Yeah.
fire ordinance, the same thing.
I'm much more comfortable if we said something about increasing the footprint of the house, thereby destroying part of the natural environment.
I would agree with that, in either case.
Yeah, and that's how I felt in either case.
You want to make a motion to amend it for that purpose, either one?
I would make a motion to amend it if we have to make a motion, or we're just in discussion, so. Does anybody else want to jump in on this besides me?
Okay.
Taking out the 50% factor.
No,
Take it-
we're taking out the word value, we're including, making that,
Increasing the square, it would be
Each
for any
square foot.
building additional renovation,
Okay.
increasing the square footage of the,
Increasing the footprint,
the footprint.
because that's where it is. If
By
you build up,
50%.
you're increasing your square footage, Bruce. But if you build out, you're increasing your footprint.
In other words, if somebody's got a ranch house and puts on a second story, it doesn't affect it.
No,
But if
The
somebody,
square footage that sits on the ground.
yeah, that which is basically the footprint of the house.
the ground floor square footage.
The ground floor square footage,
I
exactly,
think that's
because
a
we don't
little
want
more
to talk about
precise than
deed.
footprint. The ground floor square footage by more than 50%.
No, I wouldn't even say by more than 50%. I would say by more than 20%.
well,
If you're talking about making the house bigger, you're actually more impacting on the environment. I mean, if indeed deer fences protect the environment, and somebody's gonna come in, they're gonna take a piece of that land, and they're going to build on it. That's what I think this should kick in. So I would say 20%.
I think that's short.
You think that's short?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about narrow.
20% of the existing square footage of the main floor?
Right.
So if you're talking about a 3,000 square foot house, you're talking about another 600 square feet.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
nothing. It's one, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So how generous would you
I
like
would
to
go
be?
50%.
You would go
I think
50%?
that sounds.
Yeah, I would go 50%,
More
just like,
reasonable.
just like we did the same thing with the fire ordinance.
It's very generous, but okay, I will bow to you people who want to
So
be
this could read,
generous.
90 days after the date of issuance of a building permit for new construction, or for any building addition or renovation, increasing the ground floor square footage by more than 50% on such property.
Correct. And that in either case.
We'll get to you in a couple minutes. We'll give you a chance.
Bruce, while we're on that section, I have a concern on the transitional fence permits, that in order to receive the transitional fence permit, the fence has to be brought, in this case, we're talking about a deer fence, has to be brought within, the construction has to conform to the new ordinance within 90 days.
Right.
That seems like an awful short fuse for people
Well,
to
if you
get
do it-
drawings and
Let me
submit them.
explain to you now. If
Yeah.
you wait now 90 days, and you do it 6 months, you're gonna go into the winter time, and they're gonna want another 6 months. You know, this is, the timing is now, 90 days, anybody can do it, and it's not that big a deal for drawings. It's not that big a deal. We just come in with a sketch, we'll approve it, we'll get it done. It doesn't take, you don't have engineering.
We're not looking for an engineer's drawing.
We're not looking for-
Like a survey sketch on there where the fence is.
Even Russ, you can do it by hand.
Okay.
Go to work.
And Russ, you're signed up, there's something like 30, you've counted 32,
Yeah, but
34
most of
fences.
them,
You're signed up to do that and get it done.
Most of them are in compliance, it's
Okay.
not the